gas, groceries, everything is getting so expensive, more and more expensive every single day, right before our eyes. Americans are struggling to make ends meet every single day. And it's very unfortunate because this used to be a country where you could survive off of one income, one family income. You had affordable housing, you was able to take care of your family, buy a car, buy two cars, off of one income. But what I'm hearing online and what I'm seeing around the country is that many Americans are struggling to afford a home, to rent apartments, to live in metropolitan cities. Like they're just struggling all around. And this is a serious conversation that we must have. And it's like, okay, we see what's happening politically, we see what's going on in our country and what the priorities are and what the focus is and what the narrative is every single day. The war, the war, the war, the war this, the war that, the war this, right? But it seems to me that everyday Americans are just really they're more focused on how can we deal with or when are we going to deal with the surging rent prices, the surging food and grocery prices, the surging energy costs, price of gas and oil, right? That's what everyday Americans are asking, right? Regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, left or right, Republican, Democrat, independent, whatever it is, the decisions that are taking place every single day, the policies that are put in place, the executive orders, right, that are leaning towards wealthier people are hurting everyday Americans. They're hurting everyday Americans. And they're, what's up? What's up? What's going on? And the American people are dealing with the cost every single day. And so my question is, I need to put a poll up right now. I need to put a poll up in the chat right now and just see, right? How is the cost of living in America in the United States? I'll say the United States, right? How is the cost of living in the United States affecting you every day? Is it affecting you? Or the gas prices affecting you? Rent prices affecting you? Energy prices, is it affecting you, right? Can you afford to rent a place on your own? Do you need roommates? Can you afford to buy a house? And if you can, right, shout out to you, right? You may be a part of the people that's not really being hit as hard. But what I'm seeing online right now, and it's prevalently so, very prevalent, I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about the cost of living to live in the United States. Really, man, I'm seeing it, right? And we seeing the price, and me so much more because I'm literally traveling the Midwest. I'm in Texas. I'm in the South, and I'm seeing and hearing everybody, everybody complaining about the cost of living everywhere, right? And so it's like, what do we get? What do we do at this point as everyday everyday Americans, everyday middle class? What do we do, right? Can we trust the people that we are voting for in our state elections and our federal elections? Can we like what do we actually do? Like, because a lot of people are just fed up, man. They really are. Like these people, their savings accounts are draining. You know, every day cost is getting more and more and more. Um, Cost is just going up every day. But the wages are stagnant. The wages are stagnant. It's so funny how that works. Like, yeah, the cost is going up, right? Supply and demand, blah 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 blah. But it's like no one wants to meet the everyday working Americans. No one wants to meet them in the middle with that cost. No one wants to increase their wages to a livable, sustainable wage, regardless of what they do, regardless of if they're trying to go to school and work a job and trying to get ahead, right? What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? I know it's been a while since I've been live. It's been a while. I got a lot of things that I'm moving and making different changes in my life, and so I just sort of been kind of busy, and getting ready to head towards Ohio for a new job. Yep, Dom is getting a new job. What's up, Connor? What's going on, Connor? Housing prices and rent doubled under Biden. Look, all right, so here we go with that, right? We see this is sometimes why you just can't engage with certain people because they always want to look backwards, right? They always want to point the finger at this and that. Look, it's been a problem under every administration. That's why I said to begin with, I said, what are we gonna do about this, right? Regardless if you just came in, what are we gonna do about it? Regardless of your left, your right, Republican, Democratic, liberal, conservative, are we just going to continue to point the finger at what happened in the past? Oh, the previous administration did this. The price was doubled, blah, 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 blah. What about right now? What about right now? What are we going to do about this shit that's going on in the United States right now? Because I'm working every day, I'm making good money, and I'm seeing, and it's so crazy because, like, literally, bro, I'm seeing the prices just get crazy with my own eyes every day. I'm able to save money. I'm able to put money in my savings. I have money saved up and things of that nature. But it's just like, bro, it's like, dog, you literally, you go to the store, bro. Like, you just want to go to the store and just get you some, you go to the truck. I go to the truck stop, bro, and I just want. I'm like, all right, I'm hungry, man. I'm gonna grab me a burger or whatever the case is. I'm gonna grab me a quick little um, taquito, a little snack, a little bag of chips, and a couple drinks. 2 for $5. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you grab some food, or chips, and a drink, bro, and you just paid $20 for 4 items, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, bro, literally, you're paying 18.99, bro, for 2 drinks, a bag of chips, and a burger, bro. This shit is ridiculous, dog. It's crazy, and it's like, dog, like, and when you do that, you don't even sometimes you don't realize how much we're spending, especially like you just being on the road every day like me, right? But a lot of times people just don't realize what they're spending and how fast that shit adds up, bro. It's adding up. Like it's crazy. Like the cost of shit is just outrageous now, right? And we're not pointing the finger at the previous administration. That shit is gone. It's gone. Like, yeah, they did what they did, at that time, and now it's like, bro, shit's been a problem since then, and shit is still a problem now. It's still a problem now. So it's like, how do we move forward, bro? It ain't about pointing the finger or who's doing a better job, who did this, who did that. Like I don't that mindset is just so backwards to me, man. That mindset is just so backwards, bro. Oh, Joe Biden, the price doubled under Joe Biden. The price was doubled under this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but we were actually in a crisis during that time, though. You know what I'm saying? Like we were actually in a world crisis at that time. We're not in a fucking world crisis now. A global crisis. We're actually creating a crisis. We we actually created a war of choice that is driving up costs unnecessarily, bro. Unnecessarily. Meanwhile, our so-called allies, right? They don't want to help us in this unnecessary war. They don't want to help us. Spain don't want to give us this. France don't want to give us this. Germany don't want to give us this. Like these countries don't want to aid us in this unnecessary. They don't want to deal with this. It's like, nah, that's your decision. That's you and Israel's decision. Y'all decided to create this global crisis, right? So you guys got to deal with the consequences of your own. You're not going to drag my country into this endless war. You're not going to do it. Nope, just not. So, you know, I just really just think that, man, things get, it's so crazy because I'm like I said, I'm getting ready to take a job in Ohio, right? And I'm trying to get everything set up and far as living and things of that nature. So I called and I was like, hey, what do you got for one bedroom? But me personally, I'm thinking about actually just getting a two bedroom. But you know, they told me the price. I'm like, okay, okay, that sounds reasonable. They was like, do you have four times the rent? I said, four times the rent, bro? Like four times the rent? Four times? Like you think I'm a fucking millionaire? I'm like four times. I'm like, luckily, like the area, like where I'm going in Ohio, like it's not. It's inexpensive, but it's still it's slightly expensive. But what I'll be making for my new job, I'm blessed. I'm actually blessed because I have a CDL and I have experience. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be making over six figures for my job that I'm going to. But it's like, bro, I feel for people who uh who aren't making over six figures, who aren't making 70,000, 80,000, $90,000. They may have a degree, and that degree, started them off at $60,000 a year, $65,000 a year. Some jobs $55,000 a year. It just depends, right? It just depends. Just because you have a degree don't mean that you're gonna start out with with you know with the big money, right? With the big salary. But it's like, bro, I call these people and they were like, do you make four times the rent? I said, four times the rent? That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, man. Four times the rent, dog, for real. That's the qualifications. I'm like, dog. I'm like, look, right now I'm making this much. I have this much in my bank account, but my new job, I can show and prove. I could get a letter or something showing you how much I'm gonna be making salary on a yearly. But yeah, I guess I do make four times the rent. But god damn, like this shit is crazy. Yeah. Somebody said you don't need a degree to make big money. That's facts. That's facts. I was just giving an example. You don't. You're right about that. There's trades out there. You can start a business. You know what I mean? So, um, damn, Connor, you retracted your message, buddy. Hope you're doing well, Connor, man. I've been kind of MIA lately. I've been kind of MIA a little bit because, like I said, man, um, you know, I'm getting ready to, I'm getting ready to head toward the Ohio area. I got a new job, and so things are sort of changing right here, for me. And so I just been trying to focus, sort of taking a fast from social media, a social media fast, just to focus on what I'm trying to do and where I'm gonna end up at. So um, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, look, bro, I don't have a college degree, TK. I don't have a college degree, and before taxes, my new job, I'll be definitely making well over six figures. So that's pretty cool. I meant to say everything you're saying, Dom. I agree with you. The prices are insane. Yep. We were never in this crisis in 2023, 2024 until 2025, and now we are at war with Iran, and Iran is gonna lose. And that's the thing too, Connor. Like, I don't want anybody to lose. Because what are they losing for? What are we winning? You know what I mean? Like, it was um, widely agreed, right? Widely agreed that um, Iran was actually following the previous nuclear deal to the T, right? They were not enriching themselves. They did not pose an imminent threat. Like, what are we know? Well, I know why we're actually there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a fool. we're not there because Iran was actually posing a threat to the world, right? Like these people have an ancient civilization that's been around for longer than Israel and the United States. You know what I mean? Like their civilization been around well longer than a lot of these new countries popping up. You know what I'm saying? Like the USA. But these people are not going to do anything that was going to jeopardize their country, their way of life, their civilization, and the world in which they um, trade and import and export with, right? So these people didn't pose a threat to anybody, man. It's just like we really just want to control that waterway. We know what's going on, man. We want to control that. We want a percentage of that, a larger percentage of what's coming out of the Strait of Hormuz, you know? So we'll do anything we can if we gotta bomb their schools, and unalive almost 200 little girls. If we gotta destroy their civilian infrastructures, you know what I mean? Like if we gotta threaten to annihilate their entire civilization, we will just to control the water flow or the importing and exporting that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Like we will, because that's what that's the way the United States roll. They've always rolled like that since inception. So, but we're willing to do that at the cost of uh, human life, and we're willing to do that at the cost of American citizens, United States of American citizens. So, and it's getting and people are fed up, man. People are fed up. So all right. The world hates your greedy, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Not you. Yes, that's right. Okay, okay. And YouTube pose to Trump saying thank you. All right, all right, all right. Everybody has their opinion. You know, everybody has their opinion and agendas. I understand that everybody's here um, with different opinions, and some of you have agendas and narratives. I got a text message yesterday. Y'all wouldn't believe this. Hey, yo, Connor, you're not gonna believe this, bro. Connor, I got a text message yesterday, a random text message from an organization that claims to uh hold on, let me just read this really quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. I want to actually make sure that I read this correct. But I got a text basically I got a text message yesterday asking me. It was from an organization, right? They wouldn't give me their name, but we were literally going back and forth, bro. Literally going back and forth, debating about Israel, right? Because you know me, I don't give a shit about Israel. I care about the United States of America. I don't care nothing about Israel at all. I don't believe that they're special. I don't believe that state of that country we should be funding this country to the extent that we do, right? I don't believe there's some chosen people of God. I don't really care, right? You know me, I've always said that, right? And so I got a message yesterday. Maybe they listened to my lives. I don't know, but I got a message yesterday asking, um, do I support the United States alliance with Israel? What do I, or actually, yeah, what do you think about the United States alliance with Israel? Literally, just out of nowhere, bro. And I'm like, who are you? Like, why are you texting me? Like, there's so much going on in the United States of America with costs and everything happening that we need to fix here. Why are you asking me about Israel? Like, I'm an American. I'm a citizen of the United States. I don't care about Israel. I care about what's happening here. Here. Like, why is that the main focus? But yeah, like we literally got into a debate, and then I was like, okay, look, man, who are you people? It's like we're an organization. I'm like, how did you get my number? We got your number from um, a trusted source or some shit. I don't know. It was crazy. It was crazy, Connor. It was crazy, bro. It was wild. I never. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. And then I was literally debating somebody. And they were like, "Well, we understand your frustrations about uh, uh, the cost, the affordability in the United States, and blah blah blah. But it's really important that we understand that the United States and Israel allyship is very vital, and that we should support Israel in making sure that Iran doesn't pose a threat to the United States and the Middle East." I'm just like, bro, they really see. It's so crazy because like, it's funny that these organizations are sending out these messages like this and debating with people through text messages because they don't control the narrative anymore. Like a lot of United States American citizens, like they are fed up with what's happening right now. Don't be fooled by the messages that you see on YouTube, the messages that you see uh, from people that claim that they support this war. Like, no, bro. Everyday American people, I'm talking about people that you actually talk to every single day. Then when you go outside and you interact with people, man, these people are fed up with this shit that's happening, bro. They're fed up with it, bro. And so the fact that they have to send out a message and ask you, do you support Israel and the United States and the Israel alliance, shows me, it tells me that one, they know that they are losing the narrative, and two, they're trying to talk to people to get them the idea. Look, bro, they was Connor. They were literally sending me YouTube videos, and I told them, I said, I'm not clicking on a link. They was like, well, it's a YouTube link. It's not like some random website link. Like these people were actually talking to me, bro. They were like, no, it's a YouTube link. I was like, okay, and I saw it said YouTube. They were sending me YouTube videos to try to spin the narrative, to try to change my mind on the allyship with Israel, to try to change my mind to support Israel. I'm just like, bro, that's crazy, bro. This is so wild. Like they really think we're stupid, bro. And the problem is social media is allowing people to see everything, right? It's because for one, you have, multiple have uh Facebook anymore. You don't just have Instagram. You got TikTok. You got X, Instagram, Snapchat. I mean, everything. Rumble. All of these platforms out here now where people can actually. The algorithm is not always gonna show you one side across all platforms. It's not just gonna show you one side across all platforms. So you know. Um, Somebody said I agree with you, Ryan. What did Ryan say? Ryan said can't. He said can't fix stupid. Do some research before you speak. I'm out. Oh, okay, that's fine. If you're gonna be out, then you don't have to announce your departure. You don't have to announce your departure. And a lot of people just be mad when you're able to have this freedom to speak, and you're not paying attention to what the fuck they gotta say, especially when it's negative and it's ad hominems and things like that. They really want their opinion to stick, like their opinion is the only thing that matters in the world, and not understanding that your opinion is just like assholes. Everybody got one, my boy. So go ahead and leave out, dip, do what you gotta do. You don't have to announce it. Just leave. If I don't like your channel, if I'm scrolling up and down YouTube and I don't like your channel, I'm not gonna tell you, oh, I'm leaving. I don't like what you're saying. I'm just gonna swipe up because I'm not a bitch. I know how to move on with people I disagree with. I know how to move on. Anyways, these little boys want attention so bad. They want attention so bad. You know what I'm saying? They want me to read their comments so bad. Oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shit crazy out here, y'all. Shit is crazy out here. Regardless of what happened on the last administration, it don't fucking matter. We're talking about this administration. Cost of living is crazy. Gas prices is crazy. Diesel prices is outrageous. You got owner operators out here trying to manipulate company drivers into helping them fill up their trucks. They'll pay them a couple bucks. They'll pay them a couple $100s to fill up their trucks. And a lot of these company drivers out here are falling for the shenanigans, and they're getting in trouble, and they're losing their jobs. Right? Shit is bad out here, bro. And you want me to believe that, oh, it was worse than the last administration, right? You don't want to take accountability for what's happening right now. So they want to deflect and point towards Joe Biden. That's what they want to do. Oh, they want to deflect and say, oh, well, Joe Biden had it worse. Joe Biden was worse than what he's doing now. Man, focus on what's happening now, bro. That's why we have elections. That's why we have term limits, so that the next president can potentially do better and change the course of the economy and change the course of our way of life to help elevate our society, bro. But a lot of y'all just like to focus on the past, and we can't never move forward to the future because you refuse to hold your elected officials accountable because you feel like it's gonna make you look bad for voting for these people. No, it ain't gonna make you look bad. It's actually gonna make you look wise. It's gonna make you look wise for holding the people that you elected accountable. That's what it's gonna make you do. Donald Trump, he said he's gonna be a president of peace. He gonna come into office and he's gonna make the economy boom, right? He said he's gonna drive costs down. You know what I'm saying? The housing costs down, everything. Groceries. You're gonna see prices decrease on day one. Day one. Knowing that that's impossible, a lot of you dumbasses fell for the shenanigans. You fell for the talking points, knowing damn well that it's impossible to drive down costs on day one, right? And this man haven't drove down costs. I mean, he haven't drove down costs. Hell, on he didn't drive down costs on day one, and he didn't drive down costs on day 364, and he still haven't drove down costs, and he ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. He's not gonna do it, chat. He's not gonna do it. Have y'all seen your rent prices increase? Your food prices? If you saw your gas, rent, and grocery prices increase, put a one in the chat. If you saw your gas, rent, and grocery prices increase, put a one in the chat. If you have not saw anything increase, put a zero in the chat. If you ain't saw nothing increase, nothing at all, right? Or you just put a zero in the chat. Put a zero in the chat. Now, are you okay if you're okay with the prices, with the increased prices, right? If you're okay with the prices, put a Y in the chat. If you're not okay with how this economy is, I'll say it like this: if you're okay with the current state of our economy, put a Y in the chat. If you're not okay with the current state of our economy, put an N in the chat. I just want to see where people are. I just want to see like where you are, where you are. Let's see how they feel. Let's see how they feeling in the Republican state, in the red state, in the state of Tennessee. Let's see how they feeling in the state of Tennessee. Hold on.
Question: how much are y'all spending on groceries a week? Family of four. I have a 2.5-year-old and I have an 11-year-old. They keep me out of a house and a home. I spend anywhere between 250 and 300 a week.
In Tennessee, the rising cost of living is fueling frustration among many Trump voters across the state. From housing and gas to groceries, everyday expenses are climbing fast. Listen closely and watch until the end as Tennesseans share their personal stories behind this growing cost of living crisis.
And one thing about Nashville, we gonna build some apartments. If we ain't gonna do nothing else, they gonna build an apartment on top of an apartment on top of a high rise and charge $5,000. $5,000 for 700 square feet in one bedroom.
Ooh! Hold up. Yo, I know they ain't building apartments in Nashville downtown. One bedroom apartments for $5,000 downtown Nashville for 700 square feet. Are you seeing that, chat? Are you seeing these kind of prices in your city? Where you from? One in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you seeing ridiculous shit like this going across the United States of America. 700 square feet apartments downtown Nashville, $5,000 a month. Who paying that kind of money? Yo, if I even if I made that kind of money, bro, I would not pay no shit like that for 700 square feet. Yo, my fucking my fucking semi, my cab is bigger than that, man. Like, what are we talking about? My truck is almost bigger than that, bro. That's crazy, bro. That is wow. We're gonna have. You said we're gonna have reenactment. We're gonna have three bands. We're gonna have a lot of food and a lot of drinks. 2,000 people. I wish I could, Connor. I wish I could. I'm getting ready to transition to Ohio next week, so I got to make all the money I can because I got to rent. Oh, let me tell y'all about this. Let me tell y'all about this, bro. I gotta rent. I'm renting a car and all this stuff so I can head over to Ohio, bro. The rates right now to rent a car is so ridiculous, dog. Yo, I'm paying $1,000, bro. $1,000 plus a $300 deposit. And the reason behind it, and this is with my corporate discount. This is with my corporate discount, chat. I am paying $1,000, almost $1,000, not quite, $973, right? For 5 days. $973 for 5 days, chat. 5 days, right? 5 days plus a $300 deposit. And the reason behind it, she was like, I know that this is expensive, right? Bro, just mind you, I was just in Texas, right? I was in Texas last month. I had to go out there and help out my company in Texas, right? And I rented a car in Texas for 3 days for $93. $93, bro. She said the reason for this price increase because of the price of oil and gas, because of the price of gas right now that's surging across the United States. That's why you're seeing a increase in prices in rental cars. Yo, the price gouging is crazy right now, chat. Crazy, y'all. Crazy. But anyways, I just had to throw that out there, Connor. I can't make it to Maryland, man. I'm going to my new job on May the 5th. And so I'm gonna be doing a lot of transitioning and stuff right now, man, and spending a lot of money, man. A lot of money. A lot of money. A lot of money. Anyways, guys, $5,000 for rent for a one bedroom, 700 square feet is fucking insane, bro. Insane. Insane. In fucking insane. I save 30K a year by not owning a car. Yeah, I don't own a car. I don't own a car at all. There's no, I mean, y'all know what I do, man. I'm on the road every fucking day. 2026. I'm on the road every day, bro. I'm trying to stack my money up to the ceiling. You dig? Straight up. I'm stacking my money up to the ceiling. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I mean, I can afford to get the car, obviously, right? But it just blew my mind when she said that, bro. I was like, that is fucking crazy. It's not like what am I renting, a fucking a luxury car? I didn't ask for a Lambo, bro. I didn't ask for a Mercedes. I asked for a full size, regular sedan, whatever. Like $1,000, bro, is crazy, outrageous, dog. Anyways, let's get back to this. What's going on right here with the cost of living? People are fed up. They fed up, Chad. Here we go.
Over here. Y'all charging too much for very low square footage. I seen a $20 million house online, and it only had 4 bedrooms. $20 million for 4 bedrooms? Where y'all get these prices from? Y'all act like this LA. This is not California. This is Nashville, Tennessee.
Scott, our renewal offer. And do you want to know how much rent has increased for the exact same spot, for the same amount of time in our lease? How much do you think it went up?
How much?
Went up almost $1,000. So almost 33% of our rent currently they want to increase, while also taking 6 months to fix a leak in the shower. They told us there was nothing they could do. And then they had to replace all the flooring too because I kept telling them it was a leak and nobody wanted to fix it. But yet, they want to charge $1,000 more a month.
Rent has gotten real high in Tennessee. I'm just going to say Tennessee. I'm going to say, Nashville got sky high because everybody moved there. And then you got Chattanooga, even Knoxville. And now it's hitting Memphis. Memphis rent has gotten high. You used to live in a nice neighborhood, maybe pay between 900 to 800. Now it's 1,500, 2,200. We don't get the wages like big cities living in Memphis. I'm not talking about Nashville. Nashville get better wage, but even Nashville, it's hard to know people. People are getting moved out in Tennessee.
The cost of living is ridiculous compared to what it used to be. Also, nothing looks the same anymore. Gotta be top 5 heartbreaks of my life. Because I was always planning on moving back, and now I'm like, oh, it's basically California prices at this point. Okay. Why did you all move there?
I need gas.
What's up, Aiden?
Until next week. What should I do?
What's up, Aiden? How you doing, brother?
You can get up to 100.
Ridiculous how in Tennessee, in order to go to a decent high school and you're renting a house, the minimum amount is $3,000 for a 3-bedroom house. That's the minimum you can expect to pay if you want a good school. Like, at least if I lived in Massachusetts, Boston, I would have freaking Boston. But here, there's nothing. Like, literally nothing.
Recently, up in Tornado Land, right off of Guthrie Highway, like literally right next door to where the big Amazon warehouse is up there, they started clearing a site for another warehouse. Yeah, another warehouse for $1 billion corporation. Guys, come on, this crap has to stop. Like, there's so many warehouses going up everywhere and so many developments, so much farmland and just land in general being bought up by investors and these big corporations, and it's just ruining the state. For us people in middle class America, I mean, it doesn't really make us feel too great when we can't afford land or can't afford housing in an area where we really want to be. But besides the developments, though, the housing prices down here are insane.
I'm a 50-year-old man with a roommate now because I can't find anything I can afford on my own.
Rent started rising once the pandemic hit, and it shows no signs of stopping. A new study shows apartment prices have risen across the country 12% in just 1 year.
What I'm paying is the cheapest that I can find in this area.
The average price of a 1-bedroom is $1,300.
This last year it went up $250.
The rise in rent is leaving many to wonder what's next.
Who the hell is paying $4,000 a month to live in Nashville, Tennessee? See, Nashville, Tennessee has a whole rental crisis going on. But it's not because there aren't enough apartments. Oh, no. It's because they built too many luxury apartment buildings that people cannot afford. Over 10% of rentals are sitting empty. And now landlords are like, oh, my God, what do we do? Well, let me tell you why, since rich people can't seem to figure it out. A studio, on average, starting at $1,600. A 1-bedroom, $2,000. 2-bedroom, $2,900. 3 bedrooms, $3,900. In Nashville.
That's
Who's running around
crazy.
trying to just drop on rent every month? The capitalism will sell you a scam, but act confused when you buy into it. Nashville doesn't even have the jobs to justify charging New York City rent. I called Drew, just got off the phone with him because I thought I was about to have to cancel his debit card because there's a $93.04 charge from a local gas station here. Like I thought somebody stole his information and like something happened. So I call him real quick while he's at work and I'm like what's going on? And he goes, gasoline. He spent $93 to fill up 3/4 of a tank of our 2021 Ford F-150. Insane. It's like taking him like, I don't know, maybe 60 to 80 max. And that high side is like if he's really, really, really low. $93. Like I've been keeping up with the stuff that's going on in this world and everything that's, like the Strait of Hormuz and all that. I've been keeping up with it, but like this is insane. And I'm now getting to a point where I'm thinking that I'm going to have to up my credit limit. Not only up my credit limit, but make the bare minimum payment every month because of this. This
What's
is
up, Jesse?
insane. Just a quick check of Clarksville gas prices for you this morning. Um, be careful where you go because we all know the prices are through the freaking roof right now. Gas sucks. It's super expensive, but you know what? We got to go to work so we can make money to buy more gas. Let me tell you what I and others are feeling every time we pull up to the pump. Frustration and anger. Whew, I spent a ton of money in gas, and I just don't know how much more we can take. Gas prices are climbing again, and once again, working families are getting squeezed. You don't need an economist to tell you that something's wrong. You see it every time that number keeps ticking up while your paycheck stays the same. Somehow, there's always money for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Corporate subsidies,
Yep.
foreign
Yep.
conflicts, tax breaks for the well-connected.
Yep.
But when it comes to gas and easing the burden on everyday Americans, suddenly Washington gets real quiet.
Facts.
High gas prices don't just hit us at the pump. They hit everything. Groceries cost more.
Yep.
Getting to work costs more.
Yep.
Trucks carrying the things you need costs more. Running a small business costs more.
Yep.
It's a chain reaction. And regular folks are the ones paying the price.
Facts.
And yet instead of real solutions, we get finger pointing and excuses.
We're talking about what's happening in Tennessee right now, especially you, MAGA. Where's your outrage? Hundreds of thousands of people are still without power 10 days.
Yo, she's speaking straight facts, and I said that earlier, bro, when I was going on my rant earlier, and there was some guys in the comments saying, "Oh well, prices were doubled underneath Joe Biden," and she literally just said the same shit that I was saying. Every time you want to talk about what's happening right now, a lot of the deflectors they like to deflect and point the finger. We get a lot of excuses, right? They never want to hold this administration accountable for anything, but they want to make an excuse for everything. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. I'm telling you, excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. No, let's talk about what's happening right now. What can we do right now? Let's talk about that, right? It's wild. It's really wild out here, man. But Shorty was speaking straight facts though. Straight facts. It's a chain reaction. Everything is gonna increase. Everything is going to increase, especially with the cost of oil and gas, right? And the ability to move the products across the United States, right? If all of these prices, it costs more for these companies, these trucking companies to ship these products out, and we're going to see it on the shelves. We're going to see it in the grocery stores. So she was speaking facts, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Blah, 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 blah. Trump supporters are mad now. Yes, says Cranky. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I feel that, but then you get trapped. Credit cards got like 25% interest. Yep. Facts, man. There's no way to escape this shit. There's no way to escape the bull crap, man. Oh, he want me to turn off the blinders, bro. I saw you coming, man. Be patient. Let's get back to the video. Hope everybody doing well, man. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from in the chat. Hit that like button on the way in, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel. I've been MIA for a couple weeks because I've been working on some few things, but we back. We back, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man.
After the snowstorm hit, 29 people lost their lives, homes destroyed, cars destroyed. FEMA, nowhere to be found. Residents saying it's their worst nightmare they've ever experienced. They've lost everything in a state where 65% of the people voted for Donald Trump. We all remember y'all's outrage directed towards Joe Biden and Kamala Harris about Hurricane Helene, even though Joe Biden had FEMA on the ground before the storm even hit. Residents in North Carolina and other states that were affected saying that FEMA was a great help. When natural disasters hit, the federal government's bare minimum for helping with recovery costs is 75% of the cost. For North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, all these states affected, Joe Biden upped that to 100% of the recovery costs were to be paid by the federal government. For Tennessee, Donald Trump is doing the bare minimum for a state that overwhelmingly voted for him. But to be fair, during the campaign, Donald Trump did say he didn't care about y'all. He just wanted your vote. And that's what he got.
Fresh lemonade.
Sorry, kid, I don't get paid till Friday.
Just use Bridget and get up to $250 instantly. With no credit check.
Gas prices rose in Tennessee, honey, 22 cents since last week. Oh my God, that's $1 more than last.
I'm glad that you're not mad as a Trump supporter, right? You believe everything he done needed to be done. That's your opinion. And my opinion actually differs from yours, and that's okay. I believe everything that he's done was completely unnecessary, from ice disbursement throughout the United right, from lying, telling people um, that he was that they were focused on the people who posed a threat or the criminals that were in our countries illegally. Nah, right? A lot of things, the way he went about things were totally unnecessary, and it caused unnecessary chaos throughout the United States of America, and it cost American lives too. Right? He could have went about things a completely different way, but he chose chaos because he's a chaotic person. Right? So what he done was completely unnecessary. It was not needed, right? We did not need this war in Iran at all. They did not pose an imminent threat to the world or the United States, right? They barely have missiles that can reach Israel. Granted, you really believe that they had nuclear weapons that was aimed at the United States and is gonna take us out, right? You really believe that they were gonna destroy their way of life and um, the global economy. And what Donald Trump say? Oh, if we didn't strike first, in 2 weeks, we were gonna be. We probably wouldn't be here, standing here today, telling you that we needed to initiate this strike, right? Just lying on TV, just exaggerating the threat. When many countries, a lot of our allies won't even fucking help us, won't even fucking assist us, because they know that this is a lie. Even Tulsi Gabbard, right? Just last year, Tulsi Gabbard was trying to tell him that literally, the IC was telling us that Iran did not pose an imminent threat to the United States at all, at all. But no, since Donald Trump wanted to sleep in bed with Benjamin Netanyahu, right? He wanted to listen to his best friend, Benjamin Netanyahu, which we got to be careful when we bring up his name, right? Because now apparently you can't even criticize Benjamin Netanyahu. You can't even fucking criticize Israel at this point in the United States of America. Ain't that crazy, y'all? That's so crazy, bro. You have to watch your mouth when you're talking about Israel. You got to watch your mouth when you're talking about Netanyahu, or they'll come after you. They will come after you, bro. They got to protect God's so-called God's chosen people. These people are special. You better not talk about these people like that. Oh my gosh. Barack Obama deported way more people than what Donald Trump has done and will do, and he did not cause this much chaos in our United States of America. which is wild to me. But you have to create chaos and just cause and put instill fear. Well, what you think is fear, right? Because you don't. American people don't. We see it in the demonstrations and the protests and all this stuff that's going on. The American people don't fear this administration, bro. They don't. It's just like we don't want this shit to be chaotic because it doesn't have to be. It don't have to be. Like we want a normal life. Like, you know what I'm saying? And everything was fine. The Strait of Hormuz was open and operating. But we all know why we are there. We there because we want to control the waterways. We want to control the strait. We want that control. We want a higher percentage of what's going in and what's coming out. That's why we're there. Under the guise of, oh, if we didn't go in, you know, we possibly wouldn't be living or standing here today. Iran would have used their nuclear weapons and destroyed the Middle East and the United States of America. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. But we supposed to sit up there and believe everything that comes out of our leadership mouths, right? Hell no, we're not. We supposed to have the ability to investigate, research, and formulate our own opinions. Just because we're just because we are citizens of the United States of America doesn't mean that we have to believe everything that comes out of our leader's mouth. We don't. We don't. We don't. We actually do need who? We actually do need who? We actually do need who? Israel? I hope you're not talking about Israel. We actually need who? I don't lean on what media says. I listen to scholars and historians. Hold on, hold on. Who we actually need? What do we need Israel? I hope you're not talking about Israel. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. I don't know. We don't need Israel at all. If that's who you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about our allies. You're talking about our European allies. Maybe I don't know. Because we don't need a damn thing from Israel. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Trade, yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't need shit from Israel. Let them fight their own fucking war since they're so protected by God, since they're God chosen people. Shit. Let Moses come back and split the Red Sea for their ass. Shit. Let Yahweh fight their wars, right? Since they're so chosen, right? They're so special. Let the Most High Yahweh fight for them. Why the fuck do they need our money for? Our tax dollars, our weapons, our defense systems. Why do they need our shit? No, they're so smart and protected by God. Let them have their own shit. Man, I hate this shit that we're spending so much money on this fucking country, bro. Meanwhile, their people got universal health care. Meanwhile, their people got free education. Meanwhile, their people is well taken care of. But you hear online right here, everyday Americans are being neglected every day. They're being neglected every day. Their concerns are being shunned. Their concerns about their everyday life doesn't matter because we got to protect Israel. We got to protect Israel. We got to formulate the Greater Israel Project. It's ridiculous, man. But we're supposed to be America first. America first. America first. Seems like to me, never mind, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Y'all know what's going on out here, man. But we just have, we really do have a lot of things that we need to focus on and fix in the United States of America, man. We need to fix just like just the obviously the cost of living and all that stuff, but we need to fix the healthcare system, right? Make healthcare more affordable for everyone, regardless of if you're a student, working a minimum wage job, trying to get a better career, whatever the case may be. What if no matter if you're changing your career, right? You're working two jobs that are paying $20 an hour, whatever the case is, man. Whatever you're doing in the United States of America, man, healthcare, groceries, gas should be affordable for you to be able to live your everyday life, to make your life better. It shouldn't be hard to get ahead. Like if you're stuck in a job but you want better for yourself, then you should be able to still be able to afford the basic things to help you get ahead, bro.
Last.
Like this system should not be designed for just people who making over $100,000 a year, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's wild. It's like, oh well, everybody should become an entrepreneur. Everybody should. Well, you should get out there and start a business. Yeah, okay. Every everybody can't start a business, bro. Somebody got to work for somebody. You feel me? Like somebody have to be the workers, bro. And if somebody have to be the workers, right? If somebody has to be the workers, then those workers should be able to afford everyday life. Should be paying them a livable wage. Afford, so that they can afford to have a car, a house, and to be able to feed their families, man. This shit is just basic humanity, bro. It's just basic like human rights, man. They building all these factories, bro. These all these different places that's they're destroying. They're putting data centers out here. They're building manufacturing companies all across the United States, right? They need workers for these places, right? But if the cost of living is going up and you need these workers to come in here and get on these assembly lines, right? Work these hard jobs on these assembly lines, working 12 hours a day, then you need to be paying these people $30 an hour. If you want these people to come in here and help your company make billions of dollars, then you need to be fucking paying these people $35 an hour, $40 an hour. Pay these fucking people, man. These hard labor jobs that you need the people to work in order for you to be rich. Yeah, you created the job. I understand that. You created the job, you funded it, but you can't have a business without people, bro. You can't. Ain't no way people right now working any manufacturing job in a plant, whatever the case is, you're in a plant, right? You're building lights for cars, you're building whatever you are, you're building parts for washing machines, HVAC, whatever you're doing in these plants, man. That these big companies need, right? And you busting your ass every day to help build these companies every day to help them keep going, right? There's no way you should be making $15 an hour, bro. Nobody in America still should be making $15 an hour in these type of jobs, bro. These people need to be making over $30 an hour, over 30 bucks an hour, over, because these companies are multi-billion-dollar companies, bro. Multi-billion-dollar companies. No, man, pay these people a good livable wage, man. If they're gonna be in there busting their ass, breaking their backs, working 50 hours a week, man, pay these people their money, man. Make it worth their while. Help these people get ahead, be able to buy a house. These people deserve to go home to a comfortable house, man, that they can afford. If they're gonna come and work their ass off for your company, man. But we just don't see it that way, man. We think that they're looking for a handout if they ask for a raise or if they want that kind of money working for that type of business, man. We think that they need a degree to make that kind of money. Hell no, man. They don't need no degree to make that kind of money. These people working harder than some of y'all. That's that's working up in these offices every single day. These people working way harder than a lot of y'all. You know, I'm just ranting right now, but I'm really just like I'm, I'm, I'm just speaking my mind, man. It's my opinion. You feel me? You know, it's just frustrating, man, that we can do so much better, man, but we choose not to. I just don't get it. I really don't get it, man. We're supposed to be the wealthiest country in the world, supposedly, right? We're supposed to be the wealthiest country in the world, but we don't care if people can't afford houses. We don't care if they break their backs every day for your company. You still want to pay them $18 an hour, man. Ain't the fuck is $18 an hour is gonna do in this economy, man? Like, come on, let's be for real, man. $20 an hour is the new minimum wage, man. That shit is not gonna like that shit is not gonna it's not gonna get you a nice place to live, man. I'm sorry. You could have paid me $20 an hour in 2008. You know what I'm saying? You could have paid me that in 2008, but now in 2026, bro, in 2026, $20 an hour? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. And that's no shot at anybody that's working for $20 an hour. That's no shot at you, man. I'm advocating that you get paid more. I'm advocating that you get paid more, man. Because these CEOs, man, these people, these people are having in government, they're having hearings every day with a lot of these CEOs of different companies right now, every day as we speak. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm all into the politics, man, and I try to watch a widespread of different topics, right? And like they're having Senate hearings with a lot of these big companies every single day, these CEOs every single day that are increasing their salaries by 200, by 300, by 400% every year, dog. They're increasing their salaries every single year, but they only raise the employee salary 1% over a 8 year span. I'm telling y'all, man, they are pimping people, bro. They are pimping the hell out of the working class, man. They are. They are, bro. I'm telling you. Let's get back to this video, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in, man. I hope everybody is doing well, man. Somebody said budget, sometimes, man. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, and that's another thing too. We definitely got to be accountable for how you spend your money. You know what I'm saying? For sure. If you know you're not in a place to be out here splurging and all that stuff and trying to eat and do this every day and do that every weekend, right? And you know you need to be saving your money, then you just got to change your mindset too, right? You definitely got to change your mindset and learn how to spend your money wisely and save your bread to help you move forward too. That's for sure. That's for sure. Um, but it's really hard out here, man, because I'm telling you, even if you living in an area where you know you a young man, a young woman, right, and you're making $20 an hour, and you know you living in a one bedroom apartment or a studio or something like that, and they want $1,000, right? Or if you're moving out of the dorm, or you're moving out of your parents' house, you got a job, you're making $20 an hour and you want to move into a decent apartment complex, right? To have your own spot. Man, I mean, they're asking you for 3, 4 times the rent now. You mean to tell me, you mean to tell me somebody making $20 an hour, young man, young woman, 21 years old, 22 years old, they can afford 3 to 4 times the rent? That's what they're asking for now. 3, 4, 5 times the rent. I told y'all earlier, man, this place I'm getting ready to go work in Ohio, and this apartment complex asked me, do I make 4 times the rent? 4 times the rent. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I mean, I'm glad I do, but like, God, dog, it's crazy, man. Let me get back to this video though, for my speaker cut off. Get back to this video. I hope it didn't cut off already. Uh,
last month, and that's $1 more than this time last year. Because as long as those oil barrels out there are $100 a barrel, we're all going to suffer when it comes to this gas.
Now, this is due to the war, which has been going on over the last few weeks, which has led to gas prices increasing all across the country. As a result of that, the cost of it is starting to get passed down to local businesses who are now weighing between having to make cuts or increase their prices, which could trickle down to you, the consumer.
$7.25 an hour in 2026. That is still the minimum wage in Tennessee. It
Damn.
hasn't changed in 15 years. Not one raise, not one adjustment. Lawmakers have tried to raise it to $15, even $20, but every time it's been blocked. But some people say this shouldn't even be a debate. With federal funding cuts looming, they say raising wages is critical to help Tennessee families just survive.
Current administration and current administration only. Do y'all see these pimples on my face? Well, let me tell you what that's from. That's from stress. It's from stress. Okay? It's stressful out here working two jobs and having to pay rent, electric, groceries, gas.
It's not a lie that Tennessee is the 12th poorest state in the nation and that we rank 48th in healthcare. And hearing that should make you mad. It should make you angry. And I encourage you to look up all of those numbers because it's free. Advocating for more resources and more opportunities for people in your community should not be party specific. That should be something that we all agree on and that we all collectively fight for.
So in Tennessee, we have had a radical change in our economy. We used to have a booming electric vehicle battery industry. Now, what I'm talking about is...
What up,
'cause a lot of
OG?
people are like, well,
OG in the building.
no, but I'm talking about electric cars, basically. So, what are we going to do now? Well, guess what? All these data centers, these electric vehicle battery booming factories, are now going to provide energy for, are you ready for this? Data centers. That's right, like AI and stuff like that. It requires so much energy. And Tennessee is going to lead the way in providing that energy. So data centers, hello. Electric vehicle batteries, goodbye.
Measure the economy by the stock market. Wall Street looks great, but the working class Tennesseans don't measure the economy by the Dow and Jones. We measure it by the cost of groceries, by the cost of rent, and by the cost of gas.
Rising rent to higher grocery and fuel costs, many say their budgets are being stretched beyond what they can handle. For some families, it's no longer about cutting back. It's about trying to keep up.
I have received numerous calls the past few weeks of people not only losing their jobs, but not being able to find jobs. We know that the job market is trash and that Tennessee is not producing the jobs. And in fact, the U.S. Labor Bureau statistics, those guys, the smart ones, finally released data that's showing that in 2025, Tennessee had 0% job growth. They have restructured our tax code that allows the wealthiest Tennesseans and these multinational corporations to lobby themselves out of paying taxes.
The state of Tennessee has 60 data centers total. 2 of them are XAI supercomputers in Shelby County, one in Southwest Memphis, the other in Whitehaven.
Hey guys, what's your take on today's grocery prices and what you're spending by the time you leave the store? Because for me, it's absolutely ridiculous. I just left Walmart and Kroger and spent like $450, and that is just on back to school snacks, stuff to pack lunches with. Like, this is ridiculous. How did we get here? Like, how did we get to this point where groceries cost so much that a lot of people cannot even afford them? Like, this is just outright ridiculous.
Go to the store, you spend $100 and get 2 bags. Used to, you could go to the store and get a whole buggy for $100. So it's a little bit ridiculous.
Other people on Social Security, like Kathy Camp, will have to get creative to make ends meet.
I clip coupons when I can find them, and I try to manage what meals I'm going to have to fix to make sure I've got enough to last from one pay.
She ain't lying though, bro. Back in the day, that's real though. I'm talking about, bro. You spent like $100, $120, $110, $90 low. Like back in the day, bro. You could fill your buggy up, bro. That's so real. I went to Walmart the other day. I had to get me some. I use that Dove, that sensitive Dove soap. I had to get me some more soap and the native deodorant. I had to get me like some deodorant, so like some. I got me some soap. What else did I get? Mouthwash. I got me two boxes of cereal, some almond milk. Like it was like maybe 2 bags, bro. Uh, what else I got? Oh, some water. Yo, that shit was $50, bro. That shit was $50. Granted, I ain't gonna lie, my deodorant, my body is very sensitive, so I have to use sensitive deodorant. My deodorant is $13.99 alone, though, so I can't really complain too much. But I can't use like the cheap deodorant. I just can't. I can't. Like it breaks me out. Literally, it breaks me out. It gives me lumps underneath my arm, all of that. So I have to use a particular type of deodorant that doesn't do that to my body, right? Doesn't affect me. But yeah, dog, like literally, bro, just 2 boxes of cereal, milk, some deodorant and some soap and a bottle and some water, bro. $50, bro. $50, bro. Crazy, bro. I'm saying like that ain't even that ain't even a quarter of a buggy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is wild, bro. It's wild, man. She ain't lying. Back in the day though, you could spend $100 in the grocery store, your whole buggy was full, bro. It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
One payday to the next.
I'm 45, and I'm not a native speaker.
Why do you sound so clear?
I train my accent every day.
Minimum wage in Tennessee is still $7.25 an hour. But you may get paid more depending if you live in a bigger city like Nashville. But in Chattanooga, most places are barely above $7.25. And now gas has reached $3.99, $4. So if you're making minimum wage and you work an hour, that's not even enough for 2 gallons of gas.
Senator Blackburn's tweet promising that Tennessee is affordable feels like a slap in the face to Tennesseans who live here.
In response to Senator Marsha Blackburn's tweet, the press secretary for Tennessee's Senate Democrat says that this post is, quote, a slap in the face for Tennesseans who live here every single day and who are seeing, quote, gas prices and also grocery prices that he says are, quote, higher than ever.
There's an affordability crisis happening in the state of Tennessee, and it is crushing working and middle class families.
The cost of living in Tennessee. Rent for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, $1,000. In Georgia, I could get about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, for $1,000. So if you're not a hardworking individual, I don't recommend moving to Tennessee. Stay where you're at. Because unless you got a music career up here, or unless you have some ties to some big factory job, corporate job, some days you're gonna barely get by, baby. Barely get by.
Here's the thing. When I moved to Tennessee in 2017 to go to school, I paid $750 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment downtown, about 800 square feet, pet fee included. Okay, 2017. By the time that I finished school in 2020, I think maybe I paid like closer to 800, but still not 800. It included water and sewer, by the way. And now that I am a professional and I have a full-time job, I rent a room at my parents' house.
No
You all
way.
want to know why? Because apartments are ridiculous. Ridiculous. I just saw an ad on Facebook for an apartment in Knoxville, 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, almost $3,000. I'm about to just marry anybody randomly and be like, we're just marrying so that we can have, 2 incomes. And we'll figure out the rest later. So yeah, that's what the situation is in Knoxville, Tennessee at the moment.
That's
How much
sad.
money do you need to live comfortably? All right, here's the numbers right here. Where are y'all at?
Which one of these is your situation? I am single with no kids and I live by myself.
A certain subset of childcare in the state of Tennessee costs more than in-state tuition. And this is coming at a time when the state has already lost more than $40 million in federal childcare development funding. This week, the Tennessee State House passed a bill to expand the voucher program, increasing it to $300 million tax dollars going towards private education, with the claim it will help our students.
Wait, somebody said use your GI Bill to buy an investment property. Can you do that for real? I know you. I mean, I know you can use, your VA loan and all that stuff to buy you a house and all that, right? But you can use. Wait, somebody said. Who know if that's true? Somebody said use your GI Bill to buy an investment property. I used to. I was in the Navy. Real talk. That's crazy. Use your GI Bill to buy an investment property. Wow. I don't know. Y'all got to tell me more about that. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who did that, chat. I don't know anybody who used the GI Bill to buy property, bro. Investment property. GI Bill? Like, how do you have to frame it? Like you're buying it for a school or daycare school or something? Like, how are you justifying using the GI Bill to buy a property, investment property? I don't know. That's wild.
Here's a,
Fuck, dude. Come on. Here we go.
here's the problem with that. There is no tracking here. The hope is that children in public schools will go to private schools. But the expectation is 70% of these kids are already private school children. Half of the vouchers are not income capped, which means $150 million are going to households that make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars per year. And lastly, there's education tracking. We have no idea if these students are meeting expectations or growing year to year. These dollars could go towards updating our facilities, bringing schools that our children can be healthy and safe in while getting a good education. We could be investing in early education, raising dismal math and reading scores we desperately need here in Shelby County. We could be reducing classroom sizes, right now averaging in the high 20s. Teachers could be actually educating instead of moderating behavior. I'm not surprised, but I am disgusted about the fact that Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has chosen not to feed Tennessee school children for the summer of 2026. Bill Lee did have until January 1st, 2026 to decide whether or not to accept $84 million in federal funds from the USDA in the form of Sun Bucks, which is a summer nutrition program. It adds $120 of EBT to students who qualify for free or reduced school lunches and breakfast. We have about 770,000 students here in Tennessee who qualify for that program. So in 2025, Tennessee did decline the program and instead ran their own program where they did the $120 coming from state funds, not federal funds, and they supported 15 out of Tennessee's 95 counties and only 8,000 children of the 770,000 eligible children. Hey, Tennesseans, did you know that the Tennessee GOP and Bill Lee just cut the free diaper program for babies 0 to 2 years old because they can't afford it? But they can afford $300 million to be sent to private schools through the private school voucher program? That very clearly lays out their priorities. I am so sick and tired of the Tennessee hunt down your opponent and raid shadow.
Shit, that sound like
Code to get the
yo,
legendary Cheshire Cat for free.
yo. If they cutting programs for, if they're cutting programs from babies and putting millions and millions, multi millions and millions of dollars into private school funding, then that they believe that their money is better invested into children that they believe is going to be the most successful. That's all that I think that is. They're not really worried about, you know the babies per se, the diaper program or blah blah blah. Like, I'm just telling you what their frame of mind might be or could be. They feel like they could cut. that whole diaper program or that summer school funding, right? Because let's be real, a lot of children in private school are not going to summer school, bro, unless it's volunteered or unless they're trying to get the credits. A lot of those private schools offer college credits at an earlier years than your regular public schools, right? A lot of times these private schools, these students are a bit more advanced or accelerated than your regular public schools. So, I mean, they might be cutting these fundings because they believe that the dollar is better spent towards these quote unquote smarter kids or children that is deemed or believed to be more successful. So, I'm just telling you that that might be the frame of mind in that whole ordeal right there. I don't know. I could be wrong, chat. I could be wrong. That's just my assessment. That's all.
U.S. green card without depending
I
on
could be
your
wrong,
to sponsor you. Many highly educated GOP schools through the free diaper programs and the program, and instead ran this and breakfast. Sun Bucks. Billy did have bringing schools that our children can be healthy and safe in while getting a good education. We could be investing in early education, raising dismal math and reading scores we desperately need here in Shelby County. We could be reducing classroom sizes, right now averaging in the high 20s. Teachers could be actually educating instead of moderating behavior. I'm not surprised, but I am disgusted about the fact that Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has chosen not to feed Tennessee school children for the summer of 2026. Bill Lee did have until January 1st, 2026 to decide whether or not to accept $84 million in federal funds from the USDA in the form of Sun Bucks, which is a summer nutrition program. It adds $120 of EBT to students who qualify for free or reduced school lunches and breakfast. We have about 770,000 students here in Tennessee who qualify for that program. So in 2025, Tennessee did decline the program and instead ran their own program where they did the $120 coming from state funds, not federal funds, and they supported 15 out of Tennessee's 95 counties and only 8,000 children of the 770,000 eligible children. Hey, Tennesseans, did you know?
So I guess I don't understand, and maybe the chat can help me understand. So why would the state, right? Why would a state? This is my question to the chat because I don't understand. I'm ignorant, right? I'm ignorant. So why would a state decline, you know, funding from from USDA, the federal government, right? Why would they decline funding to help go toward a certain program for their state in order to help school students be able to eat for summer school programs, right? Why would they? Why would like? What's the benefit of them actually not accepting that the funding from the federal government in order to help those things, but yet they start their own state program, right? Because apparently 770,000 students would benefit from that program, but instead what they did was they declined the government funding to help all 770,000 students, and they started their own program, and that program was actually less than what the federal government was offering, and it only helped 8,000 students out of 770,000. So like, why would they cut? Like, is it like does it penalize the state to accept federal funding that way, or like why would they do that? Maybe y'all can help me understand why. Maybe y'all could tell me what's your perspective on it, or something you might know that I don't know. You know? Did y'all hear my question? Did y'all hear my question, chat? Sound like y'all, or looks like y'all have a whole different debate going on in the chat, man. I thought y'all was paying attention to the video, man. God, dog, I thought come on, y'all. Can't we all just get along, chat? Come on, y'all. Can't we all just get along? All right, maybe they just didn't. I don't know. I don't know if y'all heard my question or just don't give a damn about my question. I'm gonna do my own research on that though. I guess I just wanted to see if y'all had a perspective on that question of what you just heard. That's all. And maybe I can learn from your perspective. Because believe it or not, I people who disagree with me respectfully on certain things, like it's fine. Like I can learn from somebody. I can learn from the opposing opinion. You know what I'm saying? I can read your chat. I can read your opinion, and I can take it with me and be like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Or I could be like, that don't make sense, but I see where you're coming from. You know. But all right, let's get back to the video. 'Cause I don't think y'all heard my question that I posed to the chat. So we're just gonna leave it at that. You dig?
Know that the Tennessee GOP and Bill Lee just cut the free diaper program for babies 0 to 2 years old because they can't afford it? But they can afford $300 million to be sent to private schools through the private school voucher program. That very clearly lays out their priorities. I am so sick and tired of the Tennessee GOP supermajority playing with our lives. Okay? This program was a lifesaver. I'm a parent. I'm a parent who used it. My daughter just aged out of the program. Okay? But it was a lifesaver because I'm a student. I don't have an income. My husband stays home to take care of the kid and watch my two disabled veteran parents. Okay? And we needed those diapers to get by. Now, the party that's so pro-life is saying they can't afford to give diapers to babies on Medicaid, on TennCare. It's insane. At the same time, spending an additional $300 million on private school vouchers. I don't have words. How can you support this party? Please stop voting for Republicans. Okay? They do not care about people.
This is Bill Mitchell. He is the state rep for the House District of 50 in the state of Tennessee. And today, he did not allow a bill to go forward that would have significantly made our housing cheaper for Tennesseans. So why would a person who says that they work for the people and take money from the people go against that? Maybe he decided to not support this because he gets money from a man named Tim Barton. In fact, Tim Barton has given money 7 times to his campaign. He is a real estate developer out of the state of Texas.
If we're not paying attention and we don't put up a fight, our utility bills are going to increase exponentially. So right now, the Trump administration and a few Tennessee Republicans are pushing to privatize the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA. TVA is our public power system, and it's why families across the Southeast have such affordable